Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here at the launch of the newest book, Taking the Stairs and Liking It, 7 Steps to an Amazing Life. It's a big day, and honestly, it's hard to believe that it's already here. It doesn't feel real. As you may have guessed, I'm Lauren Speeth. I'm the author of the book that we're launching today, and I'm a writer, educator, filmmaker, and I'm the president of Elfenworks Productions and the founding CEO of the Elfenworks Foundation. I'm also honored to be a life member of the Carter Center Board of Counselors as well. We launched on this very first day of summer because we thought this could be a good summer read. It could be a hammock read, a beach bag book, the kind that you highlight eating a popsicle and just skipping around and finding out what hits. We just thought the first day of summer would be a good day for a launch. So I would like to share today a bit about what the book is and isn't, the Carter story that started the whole thing, give you a quick tour of the 7 steps, and share a little bit of the reviewer feedback we've had so far, some helpful moments from the book, a bit more in the world of the book, and open it up to a couple of questions and just wrap it up. So it shouldn't take too long, maybe 20 minutes or so. And I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here with me. So here's the way we describe the book. This warm, encouraging guide shaped by Jimmy Carter's wisdom and the author's global research and experience unlocks your potential for an amazing life. Taking the Stairs and Liking It is my version of a hopeful guide, 7 practical steps to a warm, grounded, joyful, purpose-filled life. This is not a rigid 7-step plan to fix yourself. It's more like a conversation, like a choose your own adventure with moments of honesty and joy throughout. It's sprinkled throughout the book. You're going to find the wisdom of President Carter, anecdotes, personal reflections, and stories also from other people that I believe would add to the story and help enhance the book. And it also ends with some happy haiku poetry. Here's the story that started it all. About 20 years ago, when we were just starting out with the Elfenworks Foundation, I was feeling kind of lost, and I had the extraordinary opportunity to have a private audience with America's 39th president, Jimmy Carter. He was in the Bay Area, and I was invited to have 5 minutes with him. I sat down and I asked him, how do I not feel so small and ineffectual against a big, broken, daunting world? And he took my question seriously, and he thought about it, and then he gave me some advice that was tailored just to me. Those 7 things to think about, I took that advice, I studied it, I built a methodology around it, and we put it to practice at the Elfenworks Foundation. We used it in projects in the Middle East, in South America, in Asia, and Eastern Europe, and we taught it to students worldwide. So I know it truly works in the working world, in social entrepreneurship. But doing all that, I eventually recognized that this was advice not just for being successful at projects, but for life as well. And that's why I decided to turn around and write this book, which is geared at life wisdom. So here's a quick tour of those 7 key principles, the 7 steps I call them. They're vision, special skills, non-duplication, partnership, credit sharing, feedback, and staying power. President Carter said I should find my vision, focus in the area of my skills, which will be different from his, not just duplicate others if there's people doing a good job. Don't go there, go somewhere where I'm truly needed. Work in partnership with others, share the credit, gather feedback, and work on my staying power. So vision starts with figuring out where the heck you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, you're not likely to get there. Special skills run the gamut and include the odd ones that your resume doesn't include, because all of these things make you uniquely who you are, which goes towards non-duplication, which is next. Partnership is being like finding the right dance partner, because together we go further. Together we can get things done much more, probably if they're difficult things or large things that you're trying to get done, or even together we stay the course more, and we don't, when we fall down, other people can help pick us up. And how to choose these partnerships wisely. Credit sharing, because let's be honest, nobody does things alone. Feedback is, again, discerning the kind that helps, not the kind that comes from trolls. And then finally, staying power. And this is perseverance, not persistence. Persistence is just keeping at it. Perseverance is keeping at it in spite of these obstacles, getting back up after setbacks, because showing up is often the real secret weapon. So now what I would like to do is share a few excerpts from the book. The first one goes to a question that I was asked about whether or not just anyone can be successful. And I think, yes, we can all find our way to be successful. And President Carter believed this. And here's a quote where I quote him in saying so. In President Carter's Grammy Award-winning book, Our Endangered Values, he wrote of being asked to define success in only 50 words. He said, "I believe that anyone can be successful in life, regardless of natural talent or the environment within which we live. This is not based on measuring success by human competitiveness for wealth, possessions, influence, and fame, but adhering to God's standards of truth, justice, humility, service, compassion, forgiveness, and love." That's quite a high standard, but we can reach it and we can be successful. We can move towards those goals. And this is what I'm talking about when we talk about a purpose-driven life and how to get there. So that's one of the excerpts that I wanted to share. There's two others. They're both quite short. And one of them goes towards vision. And this answers a question that I was given about stuckness. When you're stuck, when you're feeling a little bit lost, and finding your vision. Because if you don't know what your vision is, you can feel a little bit stuck. Does it feel right? We can consider additional questions to help determine if our vision serves our highest and best intention. Is this truly my own or someone else's vision for me? Does it reach beyond me to serve others? How does it feel in my heart? Telltale signs that we are on track are there for us to recognize. Our involvement expresses an abiding passion. It makes sense to our heads, touches our hearts, and gets our hands itching to go to work. We find it endlessly interesting, and we're inspired to engage friends in long conversations about it. In other words, our vision is lifting us up, and we're excited to bring others along with us. So that's a bit about finding your vision. That should help. And then finally, I have selected another passage because non-duplication has always been one that was difficult for students to grasp. So I tried to spend a lot of time on non-duplication. Stay true to you. Niches that work well for us are about finding our authenticity. We know we've found our niche when we've reached the point where we can function comfortably, confidently, and with purpose. It feels right. We feel alive. It is our sweet spot. Have you ever noticed that when we are good at things we don't enjoy, the world tries to pull us towards these things anyway, paying no heed as to whether they bring us joy or not? There seems to be an unwritten rule that if we are good at something, we owe it to ourselves or to the world to pursue it. The question to ask ourselves in this case is whether it is the highest and best use of our time and our authentic heart's desire or not. One way to answer this is to find out if we are being non-duplicative or not. Am I truly the only person who can do whatever is called for? And does this resonate with the inner whisperings of my heart? So that can help when you're struggling with non-duplication. So those are a few of the excerpts from the book. There's a lot more to it. A bit more from the world of this book. I wanted to share about the narrator. We're very proud of the audiobook that's available because it's narrated by a multiple Audiophile Magazine Earphones Award winner, Jean Ann Douglas. So it's a great listen. I'm very excited to have found out this morning that we already have chapter 1 back from our narrator for the Spanish edition. Spanish and Portuguese are translated, and the Portuguese is being reviewed. The Spanish has already been reviewed and is under narration right now. And we are planning on releasing both of those on October 1, 10/1, to coincide with the 101 anniversary of President Carter's birth. So that's when we're planning on the release, barring any unforeseen events. We have 2 other pieces of news. One is we have a special printed edition coming out in Lusaka, Zambia, for students at the Mahatma Gandhi School. And I've already met with these students via Zoom online, and I was just taken with these students. They're so bright and so discerning. Their questions were so on point.
My question is, what inspired you to write the book?
What inspired me to write the book was realizing that it wasn't just for social entrepreneurship. It wasn't just for building a farm, a big old farm in Jordan for hydroponics. It was something that you could use every single day. I just feel like they embody the sort of readers that are ready to apply the insights of this book to their own unique journeys. And I'm just honored that this book will accompany them there. So, and that goes back to partnership, because we're partnering with a friend of mine there, and we're partnering with his organization and partnering with the school and partnering with the university press there. So that's how that was able to happen. So we're looking forward to that in July, if all things go well. Otherwise, just the date would push out. It's going to happen. And now the last thing I wanted to say in terms of news about the book before I open it to questions is we've had some pretty decent reviews, and I would want to share a few of those if you will indulge me. Haley Koth from the U.S. Review of Books. This book stands out in its laser focus, clear organization, and inspiring vitality. Although her points are laid out with scientific precision, she also uses incredible compassion and demonstrates an understanding that there will be roadblocks and unique difficulties along each reader's path. Her deep compassion, buoyant encouragement, and strong belief in the reader's ability to create an amazing life are truly compelling and will stay with the reader long after they've finished the last chapter. Thank you for that. Pine Breaks of Forward Reviews wrote, "Values of kindness, spiritual openness, and service-driven personal growth are upheld throughout, making this a gentle entry point to self-discovery, a warm and encouraging guide to navigating existential questions." Wow. Indie Reader called it a sprightly and enthusiastic guide to embracing life's positive aspects and turning them into a force for good in the world. Well, good. So, and it goes on, but I don't want to go on and on. Midwest Book Review, though, from Diane Donovan, was one of my favorites. Diane Donovan writes, "Especially recommended as a panacea for self-centered focuses and negative thinking. Libraries that choose it will find this book a top recommendation for not just book clubs, but reading groups focused on a myriad of success-oriented topics, from vocational and career meetups to those focused on self-improvement or worldview adjustment. Specific in its examples, worldly in its practical applications and observations, and not only understandable but achievable. Taking the Stairs and Liking It promotes a mindset that, if followed, will ultimately improve not just self, attitude, and personal circles, but can ripple out into the world." That's a big picture, and the how-to component outlined here is key to its realization. That was nice. Blue Ink Review says, that's the last one, I promise, that's the last one I'll read. "In this upbeat instructional, Lauren Speeth, former software engineer and founding CEO of the California-based nonprofit Elfenworks Foundation, elaborates on her earlier book, Intelligence and Compassion in Action, The 7 Pillars for Social Entrepreneurs. Here she shares her strategy for finding success. Colorful references abound, from Adam Smith to Peter Gabriel and even the Cheshire Cat. Speeth offers personal anecdotes and photographs, including of her and the former president. Readers seeking a self-help guide with a twist might enjoy this betterment plan with its touching salute to Carter, who died last year." So we're thrilled. I'm delighted by these reviews and very happy. The other thing I wanted to show you, if you're local and you get the Daily Journal, the San Mateo Daily Journal, you might have seen our ad, which has been running. So we've been running that ad for a while. In case you're local, you might have seen it. And that is it for the news. But it's quite a lot of news for the very first day of launch, don't you think? So I'd like to open it up now if there's any questions. Do I feel it would be a good graduation gift? Yes, I absolutely do. I think that if you're trying to help somebody who's just graduation find their authentic path in life, this could be a really helpful guide. Thanks for that question. Can you explain to folks, is this one of those books that's a bummer summer read or a heavy summer read? Well, I hope it's not a bummer. I'm pretty sure that you know by now, by listening to the reviews, that people agree that it's not. It's meant to, you don't have to read it from cover to cover. You can read one section of it. It's like a deep swimming pool to enjoy. You can dip your toe in, you can wade in, or you can dive in. And whatever amount of time you spend with it will give you some payback of enjoyment. Where can I get a copy? Thank you for asking that. I should have mentioned that. It's available at online retailers where you can buy books. So, for example, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, their website, both of those have the book in audiobook, ebook, and print versions. I should have definitely answered that question. Let me see. I think I answered the other questions in the middle of speaking. So, for example, whether this was one of the things that, oh yes, I have one more that came from some of my students. Is there one thing that President Carter said that you still think about? There's many things, including the 7, of course, that have changed my whole life, my worldview, the way that I work, and now I hope the way that I live. And that is about staying power. President Carter often said to others and also to me that as long as he had breath, he would continue to try to make a difference in this world. And I think that was the key. One of the big keys to his staying power is having a compelling vision that motivated his life, that he believed in, that brought him forward, that brought him joy. And I think that's something that has always stuck with me, that if you find your true path, it will bring you some staying power that will bring you through and give you joy despite what's going on around you. So that was the question that's a very good question that one of the students asked me. We're almost at about 20 minutes, which was exactly the amount of time that I had hoped we would be able to spend together. Again, I want to thank you for taking this time with me for the live cast of the launch of, again, I should say what the book is. It's Taking the Stairs and Liking It, 7 Steps to an Amazing Life. I have to say that the graphics, which I completely love, are by Mike Dowling. I just love this cover. It's maybe my favorite cover of any of our books, and he did all of the graphic design in here. So shout out to all of my beta readers, all of the people who read through my various drafts, and everyone who was of help in this. Thank you. And thank you all for being a part of this special event with me. It's an enjoyable read. It'll pay you dividends for the time you spend with it. Even if you read every word or just skim through the pages, I'm really honored that you would consider bringing this book into your life. Hey, grab a coffee or forget about non-duplication and buy a few. And this summer, I do hope that you give yourself permission to take a new step, and even a small one. And I hope that you will enjoy the climb. Thanks, everybody. Take care and be well. God bless.